Welcome everybody to my channel. I'm Dal. This is the Ping Fat Dao channel. I was gonna go with a less pretentious sounding name like Dao Warfare, but it was already taken by someone. So anyway, this channel is about Chinese warfare, and I really like the subject. I like military history, science, of warfare, uh, methodology. I like martial arts. I like all that stuff. And I have a group on Facebook, which I'll link in the description below. This is a video which I'm going to talk about the use of you know uh, the study of military science and theory and methodology to a martial artist. Right here, I have um, a copy of the Seven Military Classics, including one extra book within it. It's a wonderful full read. I'd say get it if you want to follow along, or get the Ralph D. Sawyer version, which is much better. Um, and anyway, the use of military methodology for a martial artist is something that a lot of people have touched on, in my opinion, but I don't think they've understood it to a deep level. That was until I started, looking at Antony Cummins' Natori Ryu stuff, and I really love it. And it's been giving me some ideas of my own. And this group of mine is actually a sister group to the Natori Ryu Hub. Um, we study practically the same things, but we're studying it from the Chinese perspective. Um, and once I can, I'll actually make a Natori Ryu group in Texas, where I live. So anyway, the idea of the study of military methodology and how it affects martial artists. You have a few different types of martial artists. You have your sport guys. You have your traditionalist. You have your regular martial artist and your spiritualist. The sport guys, of course, you could say the art of strategy actually benefits them a lot on the level that they're looking for tactics on how they can deceive their opponent and win their match to get fame and possibly money. You have things like famous tactics of boxing, like the rope-a-dope of Muhammad Ali. You have your feints and all this stuff. Now, I'm not going to touch too much on that because I know for a fact that um, it's very self-explanatory. Once you know your strategies, you can actually, within context of the sport, learn how to maneuver through and get your victory. Now, for the other types of martial artists, you have your spiritualist, and this is something I think would be harder to connect with. But if you look at the different books, you have all throughout the Chinese tradition talks about the sages and how they would act. I think spiritualists would benefit from looking at that, but also from the realities of looking at how warfare was fought and how strategy can actually help your lives in general. And you can live a better life. You can be more benevolent. You could learn how to deal with people, all through the art of strategy. Um, Next, also, this is one of my favorite books from the Natori Ryu School. It's the Book of the Samurai. It has, for the spiritualist, you have a lot of esoteric, I believe. Yeah, I can't really get the term. Um, Stuff in it. You have also a lot of really practical stuff in it too, like um, how you could deal with people. It has some rich knowledge of uh, how units were called, how the samurai divided the units, and it's just a wonderful book. So that, in my opinion, a spiritual martial artist would benefit by getting a higher level of spirituality mixed with a greater internal condition with their martial arts. through conditioning your minds to think strategically. Now, the other type of martial artist, the one that's more like me, wants to look at the old traditions and discover the way of the warrior. Now, this type of stuff, this is the way of the warrior. In fact, the Lionel Gills, or not Lionel Gills, I don't know how to pronounce his name. His translation of the Art of War talked about the best warrior and how he makes sure victory is before he can fight. And the fact right there is the old strategies, the old way of fighting, it's all about strategy. You don't want to get in a position where you're tied up with some guy as his buddy gets behind you and stabs you, in a vital organ or something. That would be stupid. So another thing is you also have the drilling, which is recommended all throughout the Chinese and the Japanese traditions, as well as the European traditions as well. Drilling a martial artist is very important because you can learn how to quickly and effectively maneuver through a technique and get a good thing going. You get more awareness that way as well. Now, when I say drilling, I do not necessarily mean kata, because I think when you're going against an imaginary opponent, there are some positive effects to that. But realistically, if you have a guy going up against you in a certain way, you can actually learn how to maneuver through him and really affect a good change for the martial arts. And the way the martial arts are called, there's a reason why it's martial arts. It's not always called fighting arts or combative arts, but a lot of times it's called that. And it's all the same thing. But martial arts, let's focus on that term. Martial arts. What does that mean? Well, martial relates to the Roman god of war. And so an art is a skill. So it's a skill that actually helps you win in battle or fighting. It's not anything else. People may say, internal martial art. There's really no just thing unless you count strategy of that. Now I'm probably gonna get some people pissed off at me if you do qigong. I consider that more yoga. Now, guys, I'm not saying that's useless stuff. I'm saying that's conditioning. That's not martial arts. And so, anyway, please join us in the group below on Facebook. Enjoy the conversation. Remember, we have a high standard for making sure things are accurate. And we also have a challenge for next month, starting April 1st through the end of April. I really want everyone to come up with drills, train in your favorite weapon, get some buddies together. If you have no buddies, just try to find something to do on your own. Get clever with it. Do conditioning drills, do drills to improve your technique and your mind. Do whatever you can and record it and post it on YouTube. Share it with the group and have fun. And these challenges, they don't have any rewards to them except for what you get from your activity, which actually helps you be able to think better as a martial artist, as a person, as a strategist. So see you on the group, guys. And remember also to check out the Natori Ryu Hub, because I really like Antony Cummins' work. So this is a shout out to him, and peace.